Good morning, is it from Zetster's Lab? Well, it's a new day, it's a new year. This is the day where husband is starting to, I don't know how to say this. As I was making breakfast this morning, I felt this anxiety rising up in me, and I was thinking about this year, because today the office is opening, husband is starting his new year of work. You know how it goes, office opens, all the clients start to work again in the new year. And what I felt was this anxiety rising up in me. How are we going to get through this year? How are we going to cope? Are we going to cope? Are there going to be enough work, enough money? You know, all those things as I was viewing the whole year as a whole. And immediately my spirit just spoke to me. And I just realized 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, just view this year by viewing it and living it 1 day at a time, just 1 day at a time. I've learned that I've got what it takes to get through this day, but not only get through it, live victoriously through it, filled with joy and peace in the midst of anything. And how? By just living moment by moment, just living day by day. Because the life in us provides everything that we need to get through this moment and this day. But the minute I viewed this year as one and I looked towards the future, and it was just this huge, many days, months, it was just this huge thing somewhere in my future. And I had no idea what's going to happen. We don't know what's coming, what we need to face, what we need to go through. So I viewed that year and I felt this anxiety. Because guess what? All of a sudden, all these vain imaginations and stuff of the future just started to overwhelm me. And immediately, as I said, after I experienced this in a moment, the life in me just stopped me and just said, come back to this moment, this day. All you have to do is live now, live this day. And you've got what it takes to get through this day, filled with joy and happiness and peace. But then you've got to change your mind and not look at a whole year as a whole, but break it down and get into this day, this moment. Just focus on this. And guess what? My peace and joy returned. Hubby came in and immediately I shared this with him. Just look, I don't even know what he was thinking, but I just wanted him to know we will get through this year once again. So fear not, everything will be fine, because step by step, minute by minute, day by day. Because guess what? What happens? This is what I'm experiencing this morning once again. I am now joyfully cleaning my kitchen. You know, it's not something that I particularly look forward to or enjoy. But guess what? After my joy returned, after I came back from the future, viewing my year, came back into this moment, my joy returned and my peace. Because I have what it takes to get through this moment, this day. I can cope with this day. Really, I can, just like you. And never mind that, we can cope with this hour, with this minute. So when I got back to this minute, my joy returns. And after we had breakfast, husband went to do his whatever he needs to do in this moment. And I'm busy in the kitchen, cleaning my kitchen, filled with joy. And that's when I realized I just need to share this with you, because many of us, most of us, I did for my 60 years. You view a new year with not many excitement. The older you get, you realize, you're going to have to face difficult things, and things are not going to turn out your way. And all of these things that happened in your past, you drag them into this moment. That's what I did this morning. I dragged my past years. Some of them was not easy. Most of them had difficult things in it. I dragged all of those memories into my moment, applied that to the uncertainty of my future, of my year, and fear rose up in me. So now I am just taking it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, because we've got what we need to live through this day. Tomorrow's going to have its own problems, but guess what? When we get there, it's also going to be today, now. And now all your needs are met because you have the abundant life in you that is leading you, guiding you, provide for you minute by minute. Not year. You are never going to get peace when you view your year thinking that everything will turn out your way. The only peace that you're going to ever experience is by realizing and knowing, now all my needs are met. I have what it takes inside me to get through this moment. And guess what? This beautiful moment, a moment filled with where you experience the peace and the joy and the unconditional love and the power and the healing and the strength, whatever you may need, you experience it in this moment. And when you get to the next moment, this will go with. So you will have 2 wonderful moments, and that will become a minute. And that beautiful minute will become an hour. And that hour will become 2 hours and a day. And then that wonderful day will become a week. As you continue in this way, walking with the life in you minute by minute. And so you will create a beautiful week. And that will go into creating a beautiful month. And that month will become a beautiful year. And that year will become a beautiful life. And that is how we create a beautiful life, moment by moment. Isn't it awesome? So thank you that I can share this revelation with you, because it really changed my day by changing that moment. So whenever fear rises up in you and anxiety, come back to this moment and realize that now all your needs are met. You have what it takes in you to get through this moment. Peace and joy in the midst. That's what we are promised. We are not promised that everything will turn out our way. If we do this and that, that's religion. We are promised peace and joy in the midst of everything that we need to go through in this realm. And peace and joy is what we need to get through this minute. So that's what we promise. Today, peace and joy in the midst, in this moment. And when we start to walk in that, in the life, abundant life in us, we will create beautiful days, and at the end, a beautiful life. It's not about what happens to us. It's not about the situations, because we promised whatever situation we have to go through, peace and joy in the midst. In that moment, we will get whatever we need to get through that tough situation. So, why fear? Why create a stressful, terrible life when we can create a beautiful, peaceful life? You see, we create our reality. We create this moment, this day, by how we think. So I was thinking this morning, and I was thinking about, this year is, how am I going to get through it? What will happen? Will I be able to cope? And in that minute, I created a stressful moment, a stressful day. And that's how you can create a stressful life. But instead of that, I've learned through many, many years to get to this point. So when that anxiety arised, I immediately observed it. I realized, whoa, something is happening in here that I don't like. That is not abundant life. So I immediately viewed that, and I saw, where is it coming from? And it was coming from viewing my life, my future. And because, let's call it what it is, we have no idea what's going to happen in the future, and that is scary, and that can bring anxiety, fear, depression. And then we add what happened in our past and we apply it to that, and it is just one big fear that will destroy all the life in us. And mostly that's what I did. Took my past and then ran into the vain imaginations of what could happen in the future, and that is how I created a very, very stressful, fearful life for myself, until I've learned through many, many years of learning how to walk with a light spirit in me, observe what's happening. The fear and the anxiety that was rising up in me, that were my enemies. Deal with them. And how did I deal with them? By realizing, don't look in the future, don't drag your past into this moment, just get into this moment. Just think about this beautiful life, this beautiful day, this beautiful moment. And all of a sudden, my mind changed, my emotions changed, and joy and peace started to rise up, because I realized the life in me is providing all that I need to get through this moment, all peace and joy, power, wisdom, whatever I need. The spirit, the life is leading me exactly what I should do today, minute by minute. And at the end of the day, I would have done what I was supposed to be doing. So all will be well at the end of the day. Whether I experience that in joy and peace or in fear and anguish, that was my only choice. Because things happen. Life happens. Things that we don't expect, we don't enjoy, we really don't want to go through. All these things happen, but we can cope with them and even live victoriously through them when we learn to walk in the life, in the spirit, now, moment by moment. And that is the way how we can create a wonderful life, a wonderful year, a wonderful day, a wonderful hour. It starts in this moment. Oh my goodness. Thank you that I can share this with you. Love you lots. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Thank you for all the friends for all the checking in on me. Love you lots. We all share the same life. It's just how we deal with what is happening moment by moment, and how we deal with our so-called future and our past. Are we dragging it into this moment, or are we looking at this minute as a brand new thing? Love you lots. Is it from Sister's Lab? So now I am going to continue cleaning, and then I'm going to watch, I think, the Australian Tennis Open or whatever, But now I had to do this, so I am doing this. My peace and joy has returned. I am experiencing a wonderful day. Why? Because I'm living it moment by moment, instead of looking at the year that is stretching out uncertainly in front of me, because that will only bring fear and anxiety, whatever, as it did. So I've cut that off, and I'm just focusing on what I can do right now, in this moment, in this day. This day, all my needs are met. Now, all my needs are met. And when I get to, I don't know when, it will also be this moment. And in this moment, all my needs are always met. So why do we fear? Why do we allow us to listen to our minds that will always tells us all these vain imaginations of things that might happen, that will always drag things from our past into this moment? You either walk by the life in you moment by moment, or you walk by listening to your mind, your ego that's always telling you lies and all these vain imaginations. Your enemy is in you. The life is in you. The fight, the war is always in you. Are you listening to your mind, your ego, or are you listening to the small, still voice of the spirit life inside of us? That's the question. One will bring you abundantly peace and joy in the midst of any situation. The other one will bring fear and anxiety. And that is how you create a wonderful life. Who are you listening to? Love you lots.